All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of APinballPodcast. I appreciate you guys being here today, and we actually have a ton of different news to go over today. Lots of speculation. Things are definitely starting to heat up a little bit, so let's go ahead and just get right into it. As of today, I am taping this August 26th, and hopefully this will be out August 27th. As of right now, we have what's coming up, the Deeproot special event that's coming up in September, actually. So I don't even know what time exactly or what day exactly, but supposedly that's when they're going to be releasing RAZA. If it's already been confirmed, I guess I haven't read that yet, but they are having an event that is apparently a tour and something else. I don't know if it's video coming out or what it was. Somebody had mentioned something to me earlier that is actually attending it. So it looks like things are going to be starting up here pretty quick. So those that saw my RAZA video from a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about it on the podcast, that's exactly why we had a little bit of notion that things were going to start moving along here pretty quick, and it looks like they are, and I'm happy for them. I hope that whatever issues there were with RAZA, I really hope they got it figured out. I hope Bowden knocked it out of the park, and I kind of hope that they have a surprise pin. That would be totally awesome if they went ahead and that wasn't the only pin that they had. Now, do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. But anyhow, so other speculation, just moving right on ahead. Ex-podcaster, Mr. Kaneda himself, stated on his Facebook page a little bit earlier today, or it might have even been yesterday, I think it was earlier today, stated that he is hearing that the next pin for Stern is looking at being announced this Friday. Now, that being said, I haven't heard anything, and even if I did hear anything, I probably wouldn't say anything. That's just my MO, but I am free to speculate on what other people are saying because speculation is fun. But anyways, that's what he's saying. Now, what is this next pin going to be? Even if it's not announced on Friday, what could it possibly be? And who's it going to be by? Is it going to be a Steve Ritchie pin, or is it going to be a Keith Elwin pin? I've been hearing it back and forth that either Elwin's up next or Steve Ritchie is up next. Obviously we can kind of tell by the release schedule of Iron Maiden and Jurassic Park the past couple of years that typically right around Pinburg time is when Elwin's going to drop his pin. Now, that being said, it's the end of August. We've sailed past that time, and everything for Stern seems to kind of be back a couple of weeks, but not too far. Ninja Turtles wasn't really delayed that bad, if delayed at all. Who knows? Maybe it wasn't. But either way, this is kind of matched up with the timeline close to right around when Elwin would usually release a pin. So who knows? Maybe it's him. Maybe it's Ritchie. We'll see. Now, there's been lots of speculation in terms of what is the theme of this pin, and of course we've been hearing Jaws for the longest time, and to be honest with you, if it is Jaws, that's not a theme I'm really interested in. It was cool when I was a kid. Yeah, it freaked me out. I didn't want to swim in a pool. I didn't want to get into a bathtub, but other than that, that's about where my love affair for Jaws ends. Now, I did read the novel. The novel's badass, but the movies, even as an adult, it's not as cool. I guess when you go to SeaWorld and you start attacking Shamu or whatever the hell happened in Jaws 3, it's kind of lost interest from there. But, I'm hearing all kinds of other things as well. And, there's some things I think have credibility to them. Others, it's totally take with a grain of salt. If it were me, of course, we've been hearing about Marvel for the longest time. It could possibly be Marvel, this and that. If it were me, I hope that Elwin is doing Infinity War. That I've been hoping that for basically nearly a year now, at least a year. And, either Infinity War or Matrix. If he does those two themes, I will die a happy man. Like nothing else in my life with pinball would matter, just those two themes. Those are utterly my two dream themes. Like Ninja Turtles, high end up there for me, but I wouldn't mind letting go of the pen. It wouldn't bother me. Star Wars, same way. If you can see this on YouTube and you're not listening to it on audio, you'll see that I have a bunch of Star Wars artwork in the background. Big Star Wars fan, but I'm okay with releasing the pin. Now, in terms of Marvel, that's a little bit different. When you start talking about Avengers, I start remember reading all the comic books and everything. So you know, in my heart of hearts, I hope it's Infinity War. If it's not and it's still Marvel, anything Black Panther, anything Thor, those are comics that I read as a kid and read them for years, and I would love something like that. Now, on the other hand, what I would really find interesting is the possibility, and there's been rumblings of this, and again, they're probably just rumblings, but I think it would actually be pretty cool that if they would take some of their top-end playfields or their top-end designs, like say Iron Maiden or something like that, to where you re-theme that pin. Me personally, I would like that, because even Iron Maiden, I love the layout, absolutely love the layout, but the theme, I'm just kind of on, you know? So something like that I'd be very interested in. Now, if it's Steve Ritchie, I wonder what he's working on. Could he be the one that's doing Jaws? Could he be doing, who knows, Led Zeppelin? That's been talked about a lot. You know, there's been themes thrown all around, and you know, either way, I'm sure somebody has said the correct theme at some point, but I'm actually happy that it doesn't seem like nobody knows for sure, and that's a good thing, just because it keeps people talking, it keeps things going. And I'll be interested to see if they're going to try to put something out this week, next week, or maybe they're just going to wait until next month. Who knows? I really don't see the point in announcing a pin right now if they did, just because Ninja Turtles premiums have just now started going out, maybe like a week, 2 weeks ago. I think there's still plenty of juice, you know, that's worth the squeeze for Turtles. I think, you know, they're still going to keep selling some of those, and I don't know. If they try to release another pin here, or they announce it this Friday or next week even, I don't know, that kind of makes it to where they still got to release another one at the end of this year or the beginning of January. So I'm not sure if those time frames are going to match up, or if they're just going to kind of push one off more towards next spring, towards like TPF or something like that. That's my speculation anyways. Now, moving on, Hot Wheels. There is going to be a live challenge for Hot Wheels. If you guys have looked on the IFPA Pinball website, you'll notice that they have some information up there about it. This challenge is going to start September 1st, and it runs through December 31st. It is going to be, basically, you have to live stream it. That's the only downside to it. You have to live stream, and I think it's got to be on Twitch, and it's got to be on YouTube. I got it in front of me. Maybe I can just read it. Yeah, you got to be on Twitch, you got to be on YouTube, and you have to basically send your stream with a timestamp of the challenge. You got to submit it within 72 hours. So you'll have to fill out an application, and obviously you got to follow the rules. There's not going to be any ball save timers, no extra balls, tournament mode. I mean, that part's cool. I do like that. And they've got several challenges too, ranging from basically the best battles from all their modes that they got, most cars collected, best track multi-ball, best victory lap, best loop crash, best car chaos, largest epic, red line, first to red line in fifth gear. That's actually really fun to do. And first to reach legend multi-ball, which is the whole wizard mode. So they got a lot of awesome stuff. And of course, you know, the fastest completed race time, the best score. And, you know, I'm not going to lie, it's fun. A lot of things with Hot Wheels, I'm finding more and more, the more I play it, is fun. And we'll circle back to that real quick, but just real quick, the prizes for that, you know, it's going to be a baseball cap, t-shirt, translights, Houdini translights, Hot Wheels translights, but the grand prize is an unpopulated playfield of Hot Wheels. Now, to me, that's cool. Again, I'm personally not a fan of the artwork. I will readily say that, but at the same time, to be able to get a playfield, to me, that's pretty cool. If somebody's going to dig that, that's something you could easily just use for a future game if you need to switch it up, or just use it for artwork, or if you want to just be able to sell it, obviously, whatever it is you want to do with it. But I think it's really cool. Now, in terms of the actual gameplay of Hot Wheels, if you have not got a chance to play this game yet, please take the time to play it. If it is somewhere around you, play it. You'll be pleasantly surprised. And, you know, the more and more I play it, yes, I do have some issue with my flippers in terms of them losing a little bit of their juice along the way. It happens here and there, but, you know, overall, I am really enjoying the game. I am pleasantly surprised by that. The theme, again, not a fan of the theme, but the gameplay in general, I love it. Now, my kids, they're over the moon for that. I have both a Ninja Turtles LE and I have a Hot Wheels. And just to be perfectly honest with everybody, my kids are playing Hot Wheels at least 5-1. At least 5 games for every 1 game on Ninja Turtles. I thought for sure they would be all about, you know, team ups and the co-op and all that on that game. And they just, you know, they know Ninja Turtles. They like Ninja Turtles, but Hot Wheels, I mean, it's hit. It's a theme that the kids are enjoying. So it went from a game in which I thought I was going to bring it in. I was going to check it out. I was planning on sending it to the local arcade. That way other people could be able to play it around here. But my kids are like, Dad, you can't do that. You can't do that to us. And I was thinking to myself, well, Daddy might. But, you know, rest assured, they're going to win out. And especially with this challenge now, that's so awesome. For me, that's something that's pretty exciting to do. And my plan is, my personal plan for this, and to help out the American pinball guys as well. And again, they did not ask me to do this. I have not even told them I'm going to do this, but I am personally going to basically make sure that I can get several other people to participate in this tournament. So basically, if I can play Hot Wheels for a few months, try to put up my scores I need to do, I'll try to get it to my local arcade and then set something up to where anybody else that wants to come play on that and wants to basically be filmed to where they can, you know, try to, I guess, put up points or participate. You know, I want to try to set something up to where that can actually happen. So look for that possibility. I think it'd be something cool to do. And I really hope that there's other places around that would consider doing that around the country. I mean, it's a cool thing when you bring people together to play pinball. But other than that, I mean, honestly too, when I talk about Hot Wheels, I'm still on this and I'm spending a little bit more time on it than what I anticipated. But even then, I'm finding more and more as a tournament pin, I think it's got some sustainability, and there's something about it. I feel like maybe I'm missing something that somebody has had to consult about this pin, because the more time I spend on the shots, excuse me there, didn't mean to stifle. Let me do this real quick. And I got a cold and it is killing me right now. So anyhow, the more time I spend on these shots and the more time I dig into the actual rule set, I feel like somebody with a tournament mind for sure has had some say in this. I mean, that's how I honestly feel. I don't know if they have. I don't know who it'd be. It just feels that way. It feels very complete in that way. You know, and it's funny. I'm finding myself, because I played many games on Ninja Turtles too, but I find myself that if I had a choice between Ninja Turtles or Hot Wheels in a tournament setting, I would probably pick Hot Wheels. I honestly would. I probably would pick Hot Wheels. You know, with Ninja Turtles, it's just, as of right now, I know that they've upped the scoring a little bit more with the new code that just dropped yesterday, along with their DJ mix, which is very interesting on its own. I don't quite understand that still, but, you know, I feel like Ninja Turtles is much more unintentionally linear than what Hot Wheels is. Now, Hot Wheels, you have to do certain things in a certain order, of course, but I like that you can do multiple things. There's multiple pathways to get to where you want to be, whereas Turtles, there are multiple pathways, but as of right now, the way that the scoring was, and I know they've upped it a little bit, it still kind of feels like the balance isn't quite there, or the incentive to do anything other than like one or two ways is really the way to go in terms of getting into your multi-ball, making sure octopus topping is there, 2x playfield, and ripping spinner until your arms just fall off or you just pass out. One or the other. That's pretty much still the way that I like to play. Maybe the new code, maybe there's something we haven't discovered yet, or I haven't discovered yet, and I'll have to look further into that. I don't know. I mentioned it just a second ago. Stern released a video about the DJ mix that they're doing. I actually did a reaction video. I know you might be cringing, but you know, what the hell? I did it anyways because I want to know what would happen. I want to see what would happen, and it happened. So if you haven't seen this yet, check out Stern Pinball on YouTube. Jack Danger / Dead Flip presented it, and it basically, from my understanding, It's a way that you can basically hit the flippers while you're in free play during attract mode, and you can be able to play the music that's within the pin. So if that's your jam, if that's something you like to do, is just stand there at a pinball machine and listen to all the music to it, cool. And like I said on this video, on my reaction video, that I could kind of understand it if it's, say, Iron Maiden or any type of music pin like Guardians, something like that. But other pins, I don't know. I'm not sold on it yet, because just for me personally, I wouldn't want to stand in front of a pin just to listen to the music. If I'm standing in front of a pin, I'm either trying to figure out how to play it, or I haven't coined up yet. One or the other. That's basically the only times I'm standing in front of a pin, is that I'm either playing it, figuring out how to play it, or I'm coining up. I can't imagine a time frame in which I would just sit there just to listen to the music and stand there for minutes on end going through an entire playlist. But I don't know. Jack did say at the end of his video, though, that there's apparently other things coming down the line in terms of dealing with the DJ mix feature, but he could not talk about it yet. My theory was either, well, I actually didn't mention this on there, but I did mention that I was hoping that maybe the lights would dance the music, maybe the LCD would change a little bit to show different scenes or the characters in different ways or anything like that. That would be interesting. Other things I guess they could do is have a little mini game on it to where, it's almost like Guitar Hero, where you're hitting the buttons to match up with certain things or whatever. I don't know. I honestly thought when I heard DJ Mix at first, I thought that meant that we would be able to put on our own music a little bit easier. But that didn't seem to be the case. It just seemed to be a way that you could just change or just listen to the music. Now, I did notice on the 121, I think that's the code for Ninja Turtles, the new release, I did notice it mentioned something about streamers being able, or people being able to prevent certain music from playing in the pin, which by doing that, that would basically guarantee that as a streamer, you would not have your video muted. Which that in itself is, that would be important, for a lot of reasons if you don't want your content muted. So that's a very good thing to put in. Now, obviously that's only going to affect a handful of everybody, but good on Stern for thinking about that, and good on Stern for putting that in there. All right, and our final thing, I'm going to make sure I'm not missing anything else, but the final thing to talk about is Jersey Jack. Now, a few weeks ago, Jersey Jack released a teaser, and then it was radio silence from there. And I remember thinking, as soon as they put that teaser out, I thought it meant that something big was coming very soon, that the battle lines were drawn, and then it was just silence afterwards. So that quick teaser, it kind of lost its luster, because I think, I don't even know how many weeks ago that's been now. It might have even been about 6 weeks from here. It's been a while. And I want to say it was right around the time that Ninja Turtles was first announced. It was sometime right around in that area. So I'm expecting them to come out with something here pretty soon. Everybody's been saying, of course, that it's Guns N' Roses. The other speculation for the longest time has been Toy Story. Now, there is some speculation from certain people. I saw this first on, well, I say I saw this first. I heard this first about a week ago from somebody. They mentioned it to me. They were like, hey, do you think Jersey Jack would randomly come out with 2 pins at the same time or right around the same time? And I said, I don't know. Would it be Toy Story and Guns N' Roses? Like, because those are the only 2 that people have been talking about. Would they really release them both right by each other? And then earlier today, I see on Facebook on Canada, he had said that he wouldn't be surprised if September ends up releasing Toy Story instead. So I don't know. It would be an interesting move if Jersey Jack decided to release both at the same time. Now, there is minor speculation that there's a slight delay on Guns N' Roses, but that's just message board speculation. It can mean anything. That's a total grain of salt. Fact is I don't know. if it were me and I had access to both pins and I had to decide what to do with them, I would probably say, screw it. Let's just release both at the same time. If I have two lines going, then it's not going to be too much. And I want to compete with Stern, and that's what we're going for. And we want to piss on Deeproot's Parade coming out. That's what I would do. You know, I mean, because it's competition. That would be the way to go. Now, are they going to do it? Who knows? It's just full of speculation. Either way, you know, I did end up enjoying Willy Wonka when I played it. You know, there were some things that I wish were a little bit different, but it is a pin that I wouldn't mind having at my house for, you know, a solid month or two to really get to know it. I had a chance to play it at Pin Masters and Nationals a couple of months ago, and it was an enjoyable pin. It's a theme that I'm not huge on, but it was an enjoyable pin. And Jersey Jack, they do well with that. They, for whatever reason, with me and Jersey Jack, I've never owned one before, but it's really unique to me that they tend to make themes in which I have zero interest in. The only one that even came up on my radar was Hobbit, and that's, for a lot of people that are Jersey Jack fans, that's the weakest one of all of them. That's what a lot of people believe. Now, obviously, there's people that are fans of everything, but yeah, I'm not a big Wizard of Oz fan. Yeah, our local arcade, they have every Jersey Jack except for Pirates. And they're fun to play, but it's not something that I play continuously. And, you know, we were in on a Pirates early on, and we decided to drop out as soon as they removed the 3-disc. And I know everybody's going to be like, oh, well, you should have stayed in. It's worth a big chunk of change now. It's like, no, you could see a Pirates right over here. You could see Johnny Depp back there. I'm not the one that's a fan of Johnny Depp. That would be my wife. She's a huge Pirates fan. So I really wanted to get that pin for her. But as soon as she saw that they got rid of the disc, because that was one of her favorite things about it. We played at TPF a couple of years ago, and she loved that. And as soon as they got rid of that, she was like, I'm done. We got to move on. And that's what we ended up doing. So overall, though, a lot of these pins for Jersey Jack, they're very intricate. They're fun to play. I enjoyed playing Dialed In a lot. I enjoyed my time when I did get to play Pirates. Wizard of Oz, it's fun to play. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Guns N' Roses. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Toy Story. Personally, I'm more of a Toy Story guy. I know Guns N' Roses. I know the songs, but if I had to listen to Guns N' Roses over and over and over again, I probably wouldn't be able to handle it. I'd probably have to mute it, to be honest with you. And that's just the way I am. I'm just not a huge Guns N' Roses fan. There's only so many times you can hear Welcome to the Jungle at a sporting event. Now, that being said, because of that, they are still relevant, so I think it's a good theme to do. It's probably the best theme that Jersey Jack can do if they're doing an old school rock and roll band. As of right now. Now, unless it's Pink Floyd, I think Pink Floyd would be an excellent theme as well. But other than that, guys, I think that's all about what am I trying to say right now? That's about all we have. Jeez. My allergies are nuts. I either got a cold or allergies. I'm going to go take some medicine. Hopefully you guys are staying healthy and everything. Other than that, you guys take care, and hopefully this week we will find out if any of this is true. Let's see. All right, guys. We'll see you guys later.